Good afternoon. I am Kelly Phillips. I am the Membership Development Manager here at TechConnex. TechConnex is a not-for-profit association in our 40th year of operation. As an association, we are focused on being a support community for businesses within the tech industry. We are the leader in peer-to-peer programming, running a series of peer groups every month with a strong focus on personal, professional, and business growth. Our sessions are where people can connect with other business leaders, share best practices and business insights, learn from others who might have or are experiencing similar challenges as you, and grow your business. We would love for you to join us at a complimentary peer group. In addition to our peer groups, we run monthly lunch and learn sessions such as this. We would like to welcome you to today's session on the future of drone technology. We are running our session in a webinar format, which is different than how we normally run these sessions. So for those of you that have joined in the past, this is a bit of a different format. If you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A located at the bottom of your screen, and we will address as many as we can. I would like to take the time to thank Yifei Zhao, Operations Director at AlteX Academy, for putting this together. I will now turn everything over to Yifei.
Thank you, Kelly, and thanks everyone for joining us today. I'll start off by a quick introduction on myself, and I'm going to turn over to our panelists to have an introduction as well. So starting off with, my name is Yifei Zhao. I am the Operations Director here at AlteX Academy. We're actually not that far from TechConnex when we used to run the in-person sessions just here at Markham. It's a pleasure to be hosting today's session with everyone. The main goal is really helping people to better understand drone technologies and also understand what's available, what we can actually all do and benefit from the technologies. My background actually is from film production. I started off in 2006. Then in about 2010, we moved into what's called specialty equipment. What we're seeing right now is actually the first drone we've built as a team to fly for film set. Back then, with flying off a 5-kilogram or 10-pound payload, we had the opportunity to really try the technologies and test it out in different environments, especially with regulations at the time. We were able to work on specialty projects with, for example, downtown street closure, highway closure, even work on specialty sets with explosions. And because of our experience in both equipment build and regulation side, we're also able to take that experience to work with various colleges to set up a training program. We were one of the first to have a Transport Canada compliant drone certification program with a college here in Toronto. And now that program is also licensed with 3 other colleges, 2 in GTA and 1 in Europe. We also had the opportunity to work with a variety of industries and government sector, more on the consulting side to help them apply the technologies, design a workflow that can deliver results. Before turning it over to our panelists, today's webinar is it's more of a discussion format. We'll have a couple of questions and turn over to the table for a roundtable discussion. So at this point, I'm going to turn to my panelists for a quick introduction on themselves and their experience and their business in drones before we turn over to our discussion.
Yifei, thank you very much. And Kelly, thank you for setting this up. Thanks everyone to attending today and the other panelists for your time today. So quick introduction, myself. My name is Chris North. I'm the Director of Technology Adoption for Esri Canada. I wanted to spend a couple minutes just talking a little bit about who Esri Canada is and how we fit into the drone landscape here. So Esri is really the global leader in GIS software. So our flagship product is called ArcGIS. It's been around for quite some time. Esri was actually founded in 1969 as a landscape consulting firm. It got into environmental modeling as a service firm, and in the early 80s began to commercialize the software and ArcInfo and what we now know of as ArcGIS today. I actually work for Esri Canada. We are the distributor of Esri software here in Canada. So we were founded in 1984, around that time of the commercialization of the software. We have about 12,000 customer organizations. We're over 400, this slide's actually a little out of date. We're now actually up around 480 employees here in Canada. We do have 16 offices coast to coast. And we support a lot of local R&D development through our colleges and university program. And we're basically the representatives of Esri here in Canada. But I want to talk a little bit about our software and how it fits into the drone landscape for a little bit of context here. So let me start by talking about ArcGIS. And as I mentioned, ArcGIS is our flagship product. It encompasses all of the software products and software components that make up our ArcGIS offering. Now, we could be here all day talking about ArcGIS. It's a little bit like saying, well, Microsoft software, and then off you go. But there's really three main components or three main areas to ArcGIS. It supports three sort of fundamental systems for our organizations. One, a system of record, which is the transactions around collecting, integrating, and building up spatial databases. Two, it's a system of insight, which is where you go in and you do analysis and analytics to gain insights about the stories that are behind that data. And three, it's also a system of engagement, a way to present the results of your analysis and foster and support decision-making within the organization. So kind of this GIS is really this trinity of systems within an organization. Now, drones and drone and imagery technology isn't in only one of these. I think one of the things we want to make clear from our perspective today is that imagery for us is not just a system of record. It's not just a kind of data. It belongs in all three of these. Yes, we have map and data production, which leverages satellite and aerial imagery in terms of working with data that comes out of those, and we support drone mapping. We support the extraction of features. We also support the analysis and the classification of imagery and working with that data, that imagery data from drones or from other platforms to perform analysis and again, gain that insight. And finally, that visualization and that exploration, the ability to disseminate, portray, and visualize that data. So again, even imagery falls into this same pattern of system of record, system of insight, and system of engagement. Now, specifically about drones, the offerings that we have are really two members of our drone family. We have two distinct products that work with a wide variety of drones. We have a product called Drone to Map, which is our desktop-based or PC-based drone processing and 3D processing solution. So Drone to Map is something that can be installed on a laptop, brought out into the field. You can literally take the card out of the drone or the drives off of the drone, plug them into the PC, offload the data, and do a quick processing and a quick ortho imagery or build a 3D model right there in the field. Or, of course, bring that data back and do that on a high-end image processing workstation. SiteScan is another product. It was actually a third-party product that Esri recently acquired. It is a cloud or SaaS-based drone image processing solution. So whereas Drone to Map is software you install on a PC, SiteScan is something that is a software as a service solution. So you log in with an ArcGIS username and password, and you begin to use the technology. So that's just a quick background of where we are and where drones fit into our landscape. And with that, Yifei, I'll turn things back over to you.
Thank you, Chris. And before letting you go, Chris, I'll also ask a question to every one of our panelists.
Sure.
Please share with any experience with drones. Have you flown any or any of your favorite ones, especially with Black Friday coming up?
I have to admit, for me personally, my experience is mostly with processing drone imagery. I have flown a drone a couple times. We have for the purposes of testing and learning, we've got a little DJI drone that I quite like, and I have flown up at my cottage a few times. And as you mentioned, Yifei, before we had the strict regulations, we did some flying around our office just to sort of learn for ourselves. But so I've got a little bit of familiarity with flying a drone and processing the imagery. But my background and experience is more in that image processing and that downstream visualization.
Thank you, Chris. Next one I have is Amanda Aschaber from Seneca College.
My name is Amanda Aschaber. I'm working with the School of Aviation. My responsibilities right now as the manager of the curriculum and aviation projects is to do exactly what we're doing here. Look for opportunities for new learning, new programs. And specifically right now, we're really excited about entering a new space, a new wheelhouse that we haven't before. So, looking at what unmanned flying has to offer and how we can bring students and graduates into the industry. So currently right now, our suite of programs have a manned flying program, which is the Honors Bachelor of Aviation Technology. We have an advanced diploma, which is the aviation safety, and we have a diploma, which is aviation operations. What's really exciting is the bolded, italicized. If I could have highlighted, have it dance around the screen, I would, but we're really excited about a postgraduate certificate in remotely piloted aircraft business operations. So what does that mean? That means not just offering students the know-how and the skills to fly drones, but it also means other facets of the program. So I was able to go to an Unmanned Systems Canada conference and learn more about what are we looking for graduates to actually have in the RPAS industry. And I was explaining that there's 4 buckets. Of course, we want students to be able to fly within regulatory compliance and safely, but there's much, much more. RPAS is a tool. And as we have learned already from our first panelist, it's a tool to help us gather, present, analyze data. So everyone was echoing, the importance of, we want our graduates to be able to fly, but we want them to be able to do something. We want them to be able to analyze the data. We want them to be able to complete research. And a large portion of it is business operations. So from there, I got really excited about building this program because we had our 4 buckets identified. Our graduates will be able to fly within compliance, and they'll be able to do something with their skill. So research is a huge thing right now, analyzing data and working with businesses. Whether that is a unique business or a traditional business, we're really excited to seek partnerships for our postgraduate students to team up and pair with industry partners, whether that is through agriculture, construction. It's limitless. There's many, we don't all know, but there's many different assets that drones can bring to your business. And we want our students to create that business model and show you how RPAS can actually benefit your business. So that's what the program is really about. I will be talking a little bit more about being solution-based graduates and what that means. So it's a 1-year, 2-semester graduate certificate. Graduate certificates means that you must have completed a credential in order to join this program, whether that's in business, journalism. It has to be a recognized Ontario credential. And then this is the postgraduate. So kind of like the MBA of the drone world. And we're setting you up, and I've color-coded it here, kind of the nice pale aqua color is the flying skills. Then we have the gray, which talks about the research projects or the business model. And then we have some other major themes identified here, especially with the flight technology and the analytics part, which is that kind of sandy color. So the program itself is going to support the students with seeking industry partners and creating a project that will ultimately benefit a program so they can take that project into industry and help create solutions and benefit programs in the future. So that's all I have for right now, and I will send it off to Yifei.
Perfect. And same question to you, Amanda. Any experience flying drones? Any of your favorites you'd like to share with us?
Well, you use the word experience, and I will say I have experience with crashing into trees. I had a Christmas gift that for my father, and we played with it. And this was, I promise, a few years ago when it wasn't regulatory, as regulatory binding. I think I need more experience from you, Yifei, with AlteX before I fly again.
That's a nice segue. Thanks, Amanda. Moving down to the list, next one we have Armen from Drone Delivery Canada.
My name is Armen Keuleyan. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing at Drone Delivery Canada. I think maybe some of you participating have heard about Drone Delivery Canada. It was founded in 2014. We have a disruptive and pioneering technology solution. We're based out of Toronto. We focus on design, developing, and implementing commercially viable and drone-based logistics systems. There's a lot of focus on the eco-friendly technology where a lot of organizations now are trying to meet their ESG mandate. So obviously that is something that we're using as a way to demonstrate value of the usage of drones. And of course, there's the whole cost savings, lead time reductions, critical supplies, and for businesses with remote access or businesses where they want to access new markets. So I think there's benefits across the board for the usage of commercial drones. There's a comment that we love to mention. If you're a logistic provider and you don't look at these new generation technologies, you might not be around in 10 years. This was provided by ARC Investment Management, and we truly believe in this because the usage of drones in the commercial environment have tremendous benefits. So we spoke about low labor costs and it being automatic. Our solution is automatic; it's unmanned. It provides a sustainable solution in terms of reducing road usage, carbon emissions, and mitigating accidents. It's fast and efficient, especially when time is of the essence. And we do provide easy delivery to hard access and last mile locations. Some of these pillars are, we use 4 pillars and we try to use these within our use cases. So hard access locations we spoke about, and this could be in various vertical industries, time critical deliveries, especially when time is equal to lives. So you've seen in the news where Drone Delivery Canada provided AED programs. We've done programs where we deliver healthcare, pharmaceutical goods, blood deliveries, and also time is equal to money. So some verticals, there's a part missing and that part stops the operations. This is where drones become beneficial so that the operations continue running. And the last 2 is limiting person-to-person contact, especially in the situation that the world is living in right now in terms of the pandemic. So this becomes important, and moving forward, it definitely will continue being important. As well as disaster recovery and business continuity. So, for example, drone logistics as a critical integrated component, as part of the core supply chain, and as a backup in case, and we're seeing it now, where supply chains right now are to some degree at a standpoint. So this is where drones come in, and it helps business communities and business continuity. So our solution is actually, quite simple. It's, we operate and point-to-point type of infrastructure, from a drone spot to another drone spot where we can go A to B, A to B to A to B to C. So we can create a hub and spoke model, and it's actually very easily customizable. And we're fully commercialized. We are a public company, but we've been fully commercialized since 2020. We're operational. We've had several customers already. We already have ongoing customers now. We were the first ones actually to be compliant on the regulation side with Transport Canada, at least in Canada, and we are looking operations outside of the country. Doing everything automated, we obviously want to provide a solution where it's easy for us to monitor the operation. So we have our Operational Control Center, our OCC, which it verifies and monitors all flights automatically. We have our pilots in command that monitor the project, and it has live tracking. We can see the overall landscape. We can look at airplanes and aircrafts coming in. And it's a centralized command really located in Canada. And we want to scale our business from this OCC throughout the nation, but also outside of Canada. So it really provides that flexibility to monitor and mitigate any ground risks or air risks. We have a plethora of products here in terms of drones. These are our own drones. So we have the Sparrow, we have the next generation Sparrow, which we're calling it the Canary, which it was recently announced. And then you can see the ranges and payloads. We have the Robin XL. And then the next slide, we have our biggest drone, which is the Condor. And this one is, so the other three are electric. This one is gasoline powered, but it does have and provide a range of 200 kilometers and a payload of 180 kilograms. So you can see how this disruptive system can help organizations reach certain areas that previously they did not reach, or if they did, it was maybe highly expensive. And this is where drones can provide that value and that benefit to organizations. Why Drone Delivery Canada? I mean, there's definitely revenue opportunities, as we always say. There's organizations that need to think outside of the box and how to integrate drone logistics in their current business as a complement right now, not necessarily a replacement, but eventually it will, as things become a little bit more flexible with the regulations, then eventually I think it'll be a replacement to their current operations as a cost-saving initiative. And our systems and our hardware is tested and proven reliable. We do have a lot of IP. They're all patented. We have several patents. And really at this stage, flight is our secret sauce. So it's really, it's the glue that puts everything together, because with the software, you can control all your operations locally, whether it's in Canada or also actually internationally. You can also have the same implementation on an international level and then control the operations directly from there. But this is all based on how the regulator in each country kind of, they want to monitor their operations. Yifei, I know you're going to ask me if I've flown drones. I'm expecting that. So the answer is yes. The answer is yes, I have. In fact, I'm actually looking into getting my Transport Canada
advanced certificate,
advanced drone pilot license. It's probably going to be in 2022. But yes, I have. I mean, I've flown, not necessarily our commercial drones, but obviously I've flown many, many times just, regular drones that you can buy commercially off the shelf.
Perfect. Thank you, Armen. And I have to say, drone deliveries is always, one of the coolest drone technologies everyone look forward to. So with that note, we're going to move forward to Trevor from ICTC.
Awesome. Thank you. So hi, my name is Trevor Quan. I'm a senior research and policy analyst at ICTC, or the Information and Communications Technology Council. We're an independent not-for-profit center of expertise for strengthening Canada's digital advantage in the global economy. I'm based in Vancouver, but we have over 80 employees located across Canada. Broadly speaking, we have two main areas of focus. So we got capacity and skills training programs, as well as research and policy branch. So firstly, for research and policy, we act as sort of a think tank that performs research on a variety of subjects in partnership with academia, government, and industry. And so we sometimes cover topics of drone applications and usage and research. And so, for example, most recently, I wrote a paper looking at smart city developments, and entirely coincidentally, one of our neat applications or case studies that we looked at was regarding the Moose Creek First Nation and Drone Delivery Canada's project that was looking at delivering supplies to a remote community that had limited or hazardous transportation options through different seasons of the year. And so at the time, it seemed very promising with conditional approval. And I know there were plans to expand this sort of usage to other places across Canada and make it permanent. And so at other times, we look at different applications in our research. We've examined things like the use of drones in agriculture. So for example, like monitoring crops or more efficient forest management or wildfire monitoring. I should say that I'm not specifically a drone researcher, but often we do look at where it intersects with other emerging technologies. So how it can kind of fit in with other pieces like artificial intelligence and machine learning, or how drone technology might also have applications and intersect with IoT, like Internet of Things or 5G tech. I'd also like to mention ICTC's other area of focus. So in terms of training and capacity development programs. So that includes e-talent initiative. So that encompasses a variety of different employment programs, insights, and statistics on ICT jobs across the country. And there's also the WIL, or Work Integrated Learning Digital Program, which is a targeted wage subsidy program to help Canadian employers. For more information, you can visit the website or connect with me afterwards, and I'll find you the right person to talk to. There's just my contact details if you wish to connect afterwards. But thanks, it's an honor to be here today.
Thank you, Trevor. And don't go away yet. You're going to get the same question. Have you had any experience flying drones or any of your personal favorites?
Probably more like kids' toys. I would be reluctant to even call them drones compared to what everyone else is talking about here today.